see what happens. Oh, I can use the cow. It can be a cow pod.
What if you put it between the bungee cords?
No, where's mine?
Oh, do you have a tripod, Karen? Oh, yeah, no, I think I'll just make this work. We'll see what happens. Okay. Hi, y'all. Holy bananas, this is crazy. I'm so excited. I am sorry, my voice is a little bit shot, and so I'm going to try to talk as loudly as I can. I'm super psyched that you're here. My name is Allison Litton, for those of you who don't know, but in theory you saw me on the schedule, so you're here and you know who I am. I teach French and grades K to 6, hi Colin, in Norwich, Vermont. And I'm going to talk about my favorite this thing ever. Actually, I'm not even going to talk about it, I'm going to do it. What am I talking about? I normally present on this, so like actually doing the demo is a little bit weird. But I'm going to do movie talk or clip chat. It's got a couple of different names. I'm going to do this in English to neutralize it, okay? My goal is not to be teaching you language, it's to be showing you the skills. And I'm going to show you movie talk in 4 ways, okay? Because a lot of people are like, oh, movie talk, you show the video and that's it, you're done. No! It is a whole nother world. So I want to tell you the 4 ways that I'm going to do this, and you're going to vote to tell me which one you want me to do first, okay? Option number 1 is to watch the video all the way through and then go back and talk about it, okay? Option number 2 is to show you some screenshots before we talk about the screenshots and then we watch the video. Option 3 is to do a reading and then watch the video. And option 4, which I would say is probably the least popular but my favorite, and I will explain to you why and how it works, is to show the video, pause it, ask questions, and then watch it all the way through, okay? So the first was to watch it all the way through, the second was screenshots, the third was a reading, and the fourth was to pause and ask questions and then rewatch, okay? So who votes for number 1? Number 2? Number 3? Number 4? Yes! I win! I will do them all, I promise, but I just wanted to start with the ones. I am doing some, how many of you have used Movie Talk? Oh, then y'all are pros, you don't need to be here. But I'm gonna do ones that I think are a little bit less common, okay? I really tried to think about ones that maybe people haven't seen, okay? So I am going to do, there are a couple that I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do 2 different ones for this, okay? We are going to start with, la la la. Do you wanna start animated or live action? Animated, okay. Great. Oh, is the speaker on? Oh, the speaker's not even plugged freaking in. I'm sorry. The sound is not super crazy necessary. All right, so. This is on? This is on. Oh, that is the wrong videos playing. No, stop. Conflicting videos. Conflicting videos. Stop. Android, stop. Close your eyes, that's for later. Okay, so please tell me that you're gonna go. Aha! Okay, so first of all, this is, if you don't have a remote clicker, this one has a play pause button. So I can walk around and I'm not anchored to my computer, which is like the greatest thing ever.
What's it called?
I don't know, I'll let you know. I'll tell you later. I'm too excited about this. Okay, there's an animal. What's the animal? It's a bird. Does that say bird? No. What does it say? Snowman. Whoa, you guys are so smart. Oh, what is it? It's a snowman. Does the snowman have a hat? Yeah. Does the snowman have a nose? Yeah. Is the snowman's nose a banana? No. What is it? It's a carrot. Who makes snowmen? Colleen, you make snowmen? Do you give your snowman a nose? Do you use a carrot for the nose? Colleen uses a carrot for the nose. Does anyone not use a carrot for their nose? You don't use a carrot? What do you use, Emily? Emily uses a squash. Who else uses a squash?
Something like that.
Okay. Well, let's give applause to Emily because she does things her own way. Nice job, Emily. How is the snowman? Is the snowman sad? Why is the snowman sad? Why do you think he's sad? He's skinny. Are snowmen usually skinny? No. Uh-oh. Ah. Who's there? The bird. Is the bird gonna land on the snowman?
Yeah.
Okay. Where on the snowman?
No.
On his nose? On his arm? On his hat? Okay. Who thinks that the bird's gonna land on his nose? Who thinks it's gonna land on his hat? Who thinks it's gonna land on his arm? Who doesn't think he's gonna land? Who doesn't know? It's okay if you don't know. Oh, where did he land? On his nose. Colleen, do you have birds land on your snowman's nose? Have you seen that? Has that ever happened? No. Uh-oh. 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 Is the bird on the nose? What do you think is going to happen? His nose is going to fall? Who thinks his nose is going to fall? Is the nose falling? Uh-oh. What's the snowman's problem? His arms are short. Oh no. He can't get the carrot. Uh-oh. What is it? What happened? Who saw what happened? What happened? Jen? The grass went away, the plants went away. Why did the plants go away? Why did the plants go away? Because there are rabbits. How many rabbits are there? 4 rabbits, okay? So, as you can see, it's taking us a while to get through this. I have a video on my blog of my 45-minute class just doing this video, okay? So if you go to my blog, which I will right here, cicanteach.com, and search for snowmen, you will see, I do a whole thing on snowmen with my kids, okay? And I do 2 snowmen movie talks. And this is one of them, 6th grade. I am doing exactly what I would do with my 6th graders. Everything that you see me do right here, right now, is stuff that I would do with my elementary kids. Okay? I teach elementary. That's not to say that you can't do this with older kids. That's one of the beauty things about movie talk. Okay? So, do you get a sense of where I'm going with this? Okay. Do you want me to keep going with more of the questioning, or do you have an okay sense of what's happening? Okay sense of what's happening? All right, you want to watch the rest? Okay. How many of you have seen this one before? I love that. Okay. One of the things I love about this one is that what we do is we stop and we make predictions. That is the basis of my questioning for this one. And I'm going to show you another one where the kinds of questions I ask are different. So again, I would be stopping, asking questions, asking them to predict what's going to happen. I would ask, is the rabbit going to eat the carrot? So that is a great one. A lot of the questions that I were asking, like I said earlier, were predicting questions. But I also threw some questions out to Colleen, asking her about her snowmen, okay? The other kind of questions I like to ask are really very personal questions. Do you want to see that one? Or do you want to go, okay. Where is, okay. How many of you seen me present? Has anyone seen me present on Movie Talk before? Oh, thank goodness. Okay. Because that means that you're not going to see, you won't have seen me do this demo because I do this, a mini demo in my sessions that I do. And so how many of you know Simon's cat? Okay. Simon's cat is phenomenal. Okay. What we are going to do is, in theory, no, that's not what I want. I want the box. Where's the box? Oh no. This is crisis. Y'all are getting the inner workings of my brain. I want the trash. Okay, there we go. Black hole is great. That one is really good for like almost like ethical dilemmas in a way. Why are you opening with that? That's ridiculous. Sorry, for some reason this one didn't come. Reset, box. Here. With, there we go. That's where it's at. Okay. Okay, so I just finished this particular video with my first graders, okay? Come on. Oh, whoops, uh-oh. Is there an animal? What kind of animal? There's a cat. Who has a cat? I know, but who? Sorry. Which one of my amazing audience members has a cat? You have a cat? Betsy has a cat. Class, do you have one cat? Just one cat. What's your cat's name? Loki. Oh, what a nice name for a cat. How old is your cat?
4.
Is 4 an old cat or not an old cat? No, 4 is not an old cat. Is Loki big or small? Loki?
He's small.
Oh, he's small? Is he a kitten though?
No,
he's not a kitten.
small.
He's a small cat. Who else has a cat? Who wants a cat? Maybe you want a cat? Do you like cats? Who doesn't like cats? Oh. Because there are people who don't like cats. Who doesn't like cats? Caleb. Betsy, Caleb doesn't like cats. Do you like Caleb? Because he doesn't like cats? No, just kidding.
I don't know.
No. Caleb's a good egg. Who has another pet? What do you have? You have a dog. Does anyone have an imaginary pet? When I did this session at MAFLA, there was a guy who said he had a dinosaur. Oh my God, we could have gone for the rest of the class talking about the dinosaur. It was amazing. I was like, I did not plant you, but I wish I had. Where is the cat? Behind the man. What's the man's name? Does anyone know the man's name? Simon, okay. The man left. What else is in the picture? Box. What is the cat gonna do? It's gonna sit in the box? Does Loki like boxes?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, who else has a cat? Whose cat like boxes? Cats like boxes. Who has a dog? Do dogs like boxes? I have a dog. Everyone knows, all my students know my name. I'd be like, what's my dog's name? They'd say Boo, and I say, class, does Boo like boxes? What do you think? And they're like, yes, no, whatever. Oh, where is the cat? Behind the box. Is the cat sitting down? Yes, the cat is sitting down. So I'm working with prepositions. This is a really good video to kind of sneak, if you have to be sort of targeted in some ways, this is a great one for prepositions. And who are my French teachers? Oh, represent, thank you guys for coming. If you know Alain Lelay, he's got the super weirdest songs ever, but he has a great one called Où est le chat? And it's phenomenal. And I will, you know what, I need to blog about that whole thing because I found this, oh my God, it's amazing, but I can't talk about it right now because I'm supposed to be doing movie talk. Who thinks that the cat is going to jump in the box? Does the cat jump in the box? Yeah, the cat jumps in the box. Does Loki jump in boxes?
Oh, yes.
Does Loki eat boxes?
Yes.
That's weird. Is it weird that Loki eats boxes? No? You don't think it's weird? Why is it not weird? Your cat eat boxes? Who thinks that Simon's cat is going to eat the box? How many of you have seen this one before? Oh, do we need to watch this one all the way through too? Yeah, okay. I don't know whose cough drops they are. These are, but I'm stealing them.
Like, so if you ask them, like, they don't know how to say it in French. Do you want them to say it in English and then translate it, or?
That's a really good question. I'll answer that.
Okay.
You set it up with the question. And so I've gotten to the place where I can realize, oh, what's the cat doing?
Eating the box.
Hey, eating the box. Who thinks that's Loki?
I
Does it look like Loki?
do. Loki's skinny.
All right, Loki's small. Simon's cat's not small. So a lot of people have this
I think I'm more amused because this is exactly what my cat
Yes, you need to watch all the Simon's cats.
You can't take it.
It's Blaine's, and he's leaving. Like on a plane. I'm so sorry.
Like, can we use something else?
Oh, you got it.
That might block some people's view, but to be honest, Okay, so there's Simon's cat. The question came up. I'm asking a lot of very formulaic questions, a lot of either or questions, a lot of yes or no questions, questions that I expect to really get one or two answers. The questions I'm asking are very structured, they're very deliberate. The question came up, what happens if you're getting answers that are like open-ended, that they don't necessarily know how to say in French? I try to stay away from that. That's not my goal. My goal is to get them to be using language that they already know. I set them up for this. Okay? I pre-teach a lot of my vocabulary, and so for this one I pre-taught the prepositions, and I taught words like hits, which is not necessarily a high frequency word, but I'm sorry, in first grade it is. And we like to talk about paws, and we like to talk about tails. So I'm giving them what they want. And it might not necessarily appear on some high school teacher's list of high frequency words, but to be perfectly honest, I don't care. I'm gonna give my kids what they want. Things are always being thrown and kicked and dropped and broken in my classes because that's what I teach the kids, because that's what they want to know. And I had a friend say to me once, oh my God, everything is always breaking in your classes. I was like, that's not true. He sits in the back of my room, observes me. I do a movie talk where someone throws something and it breaks, and he's sitting in the back of the room going, I told you. I was like, I know. So those kinds of questions with that were much more personalized. And that is my goal, to really connect with the kids, to find out about them. Okay? So that's the point in pause, or pause and question. The thing that's super important about that is that I have to structure it for my students. They have to know what to expect. People don't like this approach of the pausing and asking questions because they say my kids get frustrated. And I'm like, because you have to teach them what you want. I tell my kindergartners, because this is how I do movie talks with them, we are going to watch it. I am going to pause it. I am going to ask questions. Do not ask me if we're going to watch it all the way through, because we're going to. We always do. We always do. I have to remind my first graders of that. And if one of them says, under their breath or even out loud, can we watch this without pausing, the rest of the class is like, don't ask her that or she's not going to, which is total bogus, because I'm going to, but they need to know. I have to train them. And that is a huge piece of doing a movie talk this particular way, with the pointing and pausing. But I like it. I've gotten to the point now where I know exactly how I want to pause it. I know when to pause it, so the cat is in midair. And that's what's awesome. People will write down the timestamps of when they want to pause it in the very beginning. But I've been doing this for years, so I can watch a video and know exactly when I want to pause it. Okay, second way, what do you want to see? Reading, watch it all the way through and go back, or screenshots? Reading, okay. I have two readings. One of them is, I'm going to do it even though some of you may have already seen the movie talk. How many of you have ever seen Blues? I'll show you the start of it just so you can see where the hell, there it is. How much battery do I have? Has anyone seen this one? Oh, hooray! Okay, so. This is not what I want. This is the snowman. Where is, aha. Okay. So this is geared towards my third graders, okay? And here's what I would do. Obviously, it would be in French. I'm going to show you some of the strategies that I do in French with the reading, and then we'll go back and we'll watch the video. So I always started. I am not going to read it out loud just to save my voice for right now, so I'm going to give you about 30 seconds to read through this. So are we good? Can we go on? Okay. So I would read it in French. The kids would have a copy in front of them, okay? And I would be using my laser pointer to go along. One of my favorite things to do is I would ask the kids, I would read the sentence in English, they point it out, and I have the kid laser pointed in French. So I would say, now it is not raining, it is sunny. And I would go like this, and they would raise their hands, and I would hand them the laser pointer. I have to train them how to use the laser pointer too. So they shine it up at the ceiling, and then they bring it down so that it's there. Because I'm like, do not shine this in on someone's eyes or you will never touch it again. But this is a game changer. Like, this raises the stakes. They're like, oh my God, I get to use the laser pointer. Like, that's the coolest thing ever. And then I tell them, all right, you can go like this for like 3 seconds and go bananas with it on the screen and then give it back to me. That gets that stupid wiggle out of their system. Oh, let's do a brain break super quick. You don't have to get up, I won't make you get up. But written on this piece of paper is a number between 0 and 100. How quickly can you guess what the number is? I do this with kindergarten, I do it with 6th grade. When I do it with kindergarten, the range of numbers is just a whole lot smaller. So it's between 0 and 100. So someone give me a number between 0 and 100. 66 is too high. 42 is too low. 53 is too high. 50 is too high. 48 is too high. 45 is too high. 43 is too low. So when I do that, when we get closer and closer, like we have 2 choices there, and because they chose the or like 3 choices, no, 2 choices, 43 and 44. Because you chose 44, the 43, the kids are like, oh man, we were so close. So it kind of like can be like this building. And for those of you who teach French and know what a nightmare numbers are, like the higher numbers, that's the one where it's like, go home French, you're drunk, like you don't know how to count. That's a really good one for that. So, give yourselves a round of applause for guessing my number. Okay, so I would do that with this reading. I would read a sentence in French or in English. They would laser point it for me, and then I would say it in French. I am giving them so much input before I expect them to produce it. Okay? After we work with that a little bit, I've got a series of partner activities that I do. I'm sorry, I know a lot of people don't like partner activities. I do, because I set them up. I give them so much beforehand that when they go to do the partner activities, we'll do this 3 or 4 classes in a row, just so it gets in their heads. And so I build them up so that they're hearing enough so that when it comes out of their mouths, and I'll show you some photos of a thing that I did with 2nd grade, where they were actually reading the sentences. No, it would be in French. I just did it in English for y'all. Okay. Does anybody have any questions about the reading piece of it? Yeah. Yes. Everything is in French. So what they would do is, I'll show you super quick my partner activity. I have this in Spanish as well on my Teachers Pay Teachers, but I think I need to make a couple of adjustments. It helps if I spell it correctly, right? Partenaire. Partenaire. That's not what I want. There, no. Maybe it's partners, right? Oh, come on, you've got to be joking me. Come on, that's my brother. Hi, everyone, say hi to Brad. There's my dog. Partenaire. Why could I not find it? Usually it autofills. Okay. So this is a whole document I have that is partner activities. I do this with gestures. There are always person A and person B. I am so routine oriented that when my kids see this, they know what's coming. Okay. So when I do a reading, the first step would be they read the story in English. Person A reads the first sentence. It's a pinball reading, or ping pong or volleyball translation. That's just standard for that. Then the next would be one person says a sentence in English, not in order, and the other has to find it on the page. And I label it. I make this idiot proof, so they know exactly how many times they have to do it. I put this up here. When they're done with 2, they say Madame or Maîtresse, either one. Fini avec numéro 2. I'm done with number 2, so I show them the next one. But they know. I trained them, so this is not any sort of surprising thing. Okay? So I can share that with y'all as well. Okay, so you want to watch the blues? Okay. Let's watch blues. Oh, no, Simon, you're done. You're out of here. We've had enough of your cat and his shenanigans. There's music. I don't know if you can hear it. I know, it's a little sad. But what was great about this one of the things that I absolutely adore about Movie Talk is the fact that I did this with my 6th grader. I did it with my 3rd graders. I don't think I would do it any younger than that because it is a little sad. But it was very basic. As you can see, the reading that we did with it was very basic. I did not pre-teach any vocabulary there. That would have all been vocabulary that we had already done. But I did it with my 6th graders. And I had them make predictions about who was in the picture. Why was he crying? So it was the exact same thing, but how I did it was a little bit different. If we have time, I will show you my favorite clip ever. Does anyone know Monty the Penguin? Oh my God, I'm gonna change y'all's lives. My mother showed this one to me. She sent it to me. It was like the one forward from my mother when I was like, oh, thank God she sent me that. Usually it's Jackie Lawson e-cards, and I'm like, barf, terrible. But this was great. And the year that I found it, I dropped everything I was doing with all of my classes, kindergarten, 2nd, 3rd, and 5th grade, and did this one movie talk for the entire month of December. I did it with all of them. And that's what's so amazing about this. I can do Simon's Cat with 6th grade. You can do Simon's Cat with high school. I do it with 1st grade. There are some that are a little bit more appropriate or less appropriate. But it's ageless. When I do this present this session at conferences, I say movie talk, ageless, timeless, priceless, because it is ageless. I do this with adults. They freaking love it. Yeah.
When you do it with multiple levels, do you do it again the next year? Like, have they seen it in a previous grade?
So the question is, if I do it with multiple levels, would I do it again? No. Now Monty the Python. I've never done that before. That was amazing. Oh my God. Monty the Penguin, although I do love Monty Python. That would be fun to movie talk. Oh my God. Oh, that would be a wormhole. When I now reserve Monty the Penguin, I had to think about that for a second, for kindergarten. And I have watched it, no joke, hundreds of times, probably close to 1,000, because I always show it at my demos. I always do it in kindergarten. I still tear up. The kindergarten teachers, like, I play and they're like, oh God, not this again, because it's so amazing. So that's what I would do with Aretas, okay? Who was in my sofa chat yesterday where I was talking about bridge? Do you want to watch bridge? And then I'll show you some of the activities that I did with that one. And oh, so nice. Tell me what you want. Y'all are here to learn, so I go on autopilot. So you tell me if there are things that you would like to see or like me to explain differently. That's why I'm here. Okay? Yeah. I will talk about that in a second. Let me show you bridge, because actually bridge would be a really good one to pre-teach. Okay, so I just did this with second grade. Okay. Does anyone know bridge? Okay. Christmas or Hanukkah or whatever holiday you celebrate where you get gifts, I don't know what it is, but whatever it is, that just came today for y'all, okay? Because I'm gonna give you access to all these clips. And I will give you, if you're French teachers, you will steal my stuff, okay? So, yes, it is a little sad. So I like to use this to teach the expression bunny day, which means good idea. And my mother told me this joke, why is Easter such a good idea in France? Because it's a bunny day. And I prepped my second graders right before we watched this video. I was like, I got the best joke for y'all. And I said it, and this one kid whose name is Gus, which I just think is amazing, he was like, "You told us that joke last year." And this look on his face like, "And it wasn't funny then either." And I was like, "Oh, you just broke my heart." So I have a really hard time teaching things that are not concrete. I like things to drop and fall and break and throw and kick. But this is a really good one for can and can't and wants and tries. It's a really good one. So some of the follow-up stuff I would do, like I said, I just did this with second grade. When I pre-teach the vocab, I use photographs, and I make my photographs very meaningful. And so I taught them, when I was teaching them the animals, I chose random pictures of animals playing sports. If someone were to look at my Google image history search, they would want to have me committed. And then I wanted to teach them, oh, this was kind of fun. Who's crossing the bridge? Tell me an animal to cross the bridge. That was kind of cute. So here's throws and kicks. And we talk about what kind of ball they're throwing or kicking. I asked some questions about the sports. There was a huge conversation in the class about whether or not this was a rugby ball or a soccer ball. I'm like, I don't care. But it's like, okay, the guy in red, is he kicking the ball or is he throwing the ball? So I'm finding pictures that give us a lot to talk about. I can personalize it right away. Oh, that's a surprise. Don't look at that. Don't look at that. I know you can't see that. So this is where my second graders begin to read. So after I do a movie talk, I do a lot with screenshots. And I give kids envelopes with screenshots in them. And the first time I did this, I just had the screenshots. I didn't have any sentence strips, and so I would say to the kids a sentence, and if we'd gone over them before, we did a whole bunch of things with the sentences and the pictures, where I show them this, and ask them what's happening in all the pictures. They close their eyes, I make one of them disappear, ask them which one they disappeared, but we've been talking about the pictures so much that they can now produce it. So then, when they're working with their partners, I say a sentence, and with their partners, they have to find the picture and hold it up. Then they put the pictures in order. And then one of them will close their eyes and take a picture away, and the other one has to say which one is missing. But because I have fed them so much of this stuff already, it's easy for them. Then the next step is give them sentence strips with those same sentences on it. Now my second graders are reading French. I do this at the end of first grade with Simon's Cat videos, and last year one of the first grade teachers was like, wow, it's really amazing that they're reading French. I'm like, I know, because I threw it at them so much they can't help but read it. So these are my second graders reading French. They're putting the sentences in order and matching it up. But I brought them to that level. I want to do the one with the screenshots because I want to talk about some personalization, and then I'm not sure what time I go to. Do I go till 4:15 or 4:30? I hope it's 4:30, but I'm not really sure. Okay, now you can remember what I told you to unsee.
How long do you see your kids for, and how often?
Oh, good question. How long do I see my kids for and how often? At least my second graders I only see twice a week now. Once for 30 minutes, once for 45, because my new principal is a fill in the blank, I'll let you choose the word. My K and 1 and 3 and 4 is 3 times 30, and 5 and 6 is 4 times 45. But like I said, the Simon's Cat with first grade, I wouldn't do that whole thing in all one class. A, it's too much, it's one thing for 20 or 30 minutes, that's too long, so I would break it up over a couple classes. Plus that raises the suspense. And so if we got through maybe 40 seconds or so the first class, the next class I would come in and say, okay, what was the video about? Who was in the video? And so we get some more input there too. Has anyone seen the Holiday Feast? This is a great one for around the holidays, aptly named. And so I'm going to show it to you now. So I'm going to ask some questions about the pictures that you see, and you'll get a sense of what is happening, and then we'll watch the whole thing through. What's in the picture? Animals, what are they doing? They're eating. Where are they eating? At a table. Are they eating animal food or people food? They're eating people food. Is that normal or weird? It's very weird. But look, something else is weird. What else is weird? They have hands to picture? Dogs and how many cats? Just one cat and all dogs. Oh my gosh, it works. What's the animal? The cat. Who has a cat? We're not going to go through that whole thing again. Is the cat, what color is the cat? Black and white. Are the hands big or the hands small? The hands are big. Is the cat's head big or is the cat's head small? It's pretty small. Is the cat eating? Does the cat have food in his mouth? No. What animal is this? It's a dog. Who in the family do you think that is? You think it's a grandpa? Who thinks that's a grandpa? Who? Do grandpas wear sweaters like that? Yeah. What's the grandpa dog doing? He might be picking his feet. Is he eating his hand? No. He was licking his hand. Oh, what's the grandpa dog doing? Is he eating food? Is he eating his own food? No, he's eating somebody else's food. Does that dog see grandpa dog eating his food? No. Is that a grandpa dog? No, what dog is that? That's a teenager dog. Is the teenager dog eating? What's he doing? He's on his phone. Who has a phone? There are only 3 people in here who have a phone. You've got to be kidding me. Yeah, all right, good point. Oh, yes, you are elementary school students. Never mind. And even if you had them, you wouldn't have them at school. But high school kids never have their phones at school, do they? No. So if this were a high school class, great personalization question. Who is allowed to use their phone at the table? Who is not allowed to? So you've got some great opportunities for why? Why can't you use your phone at your table? Who said you can't use your phone at your table? Tons of conversations. Where, what are you doing? You know, talk about families, talk about traditions. Oh, my family, my parents and I go to a restaurant for Thanksgiving. Does anyone else's family go to a restaurant for Thanksgiving? Because my family, there are only 3 people. My mom, my dad, and me. My brothers live away. And my mom doesn't want to cook Thanksgiving dinner for 3 people. This is all stuff that I would be telling my kids and friends. Is he eating? Oh, is he eating? Who's that in the family? Who do you think that is? I think it's the crazy aunt. Is she eating with a fork? No, what is she eating with? Chopsticks. But look, she has food in her hand. If you eat with chopsticks, do you have food in your hands too? No, she doesn't know how to use chopsticks. Oh, now she can use the chopsticks. Who knows how to use chopsticks? So you can get a sense of the kinds of questions I'm asking. Do you want to watch this one all the way through? Where do I get? So this comes from the video. This is from a video. I use a lot of the same ones, and I'm about to give you all of my videos. I'll show you what I'm going to give you. Like I said, I make the screenshots. But for the vast majority of what I'm about to give you, you already have the screenshots. I usually don't say nice stuff about myself, but I will say I'm a very generous presenter. Okay, so we'll watch this one, and then maybe I'll just show you Monty. So this was actually an advertisement for a humane society in like Utah a few years ago. They were having a push to try to get a whole bunch of animals adopted around the holidays. So this was their promo ad, and it totally worked. Like they totally surpassed their goals. And I did cut a little piece out of this. At one point, the bulldog, I think, is drinking out of a flask, and I cut that part out. never eats. Sorry, y'all. Sorry. That's I love that. That was one of the screenshots I had that I didn't show you. It's like, is she eating? No. Is she putting makeup on the table? Yes. Is that polite? Is that rude? So that is a great one for around this time of year. Let me just find out. Am I supposed to be done now? Yeah. Oh! We're gonna do a raffle. So who didn't get one of these things? We're raffling something super special. Lots of special things. So just take a pass and I'll collect you outside. And actually while I'm doing that, I'm gonna put on my favorite movie talk. Oh, here. Give me another one. Do another one. Okay, so I'm gonna put on my favorite movie talk. That's how we're gonna end this, okay? This is Monty the Penguin. And if you have a tissue, you might wanna grab it, just to let you know.
That one was called The Feast.
The Le Holiday Feast, like L-E. I don't know why. Has anyone seen this one before? Okay, fine. Here, I'll walk over. Is that not the sweetest thing ever? I mean, it's like unbelievable. I love it. So yeah, so hopefully you now feel like you can go back and do some movie talks. Yeah? Who's gonna try? Woohoo!
All right, are you raffling things off?
Yes.
She's about to right now. Did you get the tickets?
Yes. Okay. Okay. Oh, I was just gonna draw like this.
Oh, all right.
right, do it.
Okay, so first prize is a copy of.
Actually, there's 5 copies.
Oh, 5 copies. Oh, whole kit and caboodle. All right, hope y'all don't have luggage weight restrictions. Sheila. Yeah.
Okay, next is the stick figure guide to see
Oh.
the printed version.
Erica Rubio.
Oh, here it
Okay.
is.
Next is another copy.
There you go.
Sorry. I'm going to shake these up. Betsy. Woo!
And this one is amazing. She's giving away a membership for the first month free in the curriculum.
Woo, 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 woo. And I have a treehouse in the curriculum club that has movie talk support. Myra.
Okay, Myra, you got to come see me when this is over, so I can sign you up right back there. Okay, last thing.
No, we got the mug too.
We have this too.
You what? Oh my gosh! And Myra, I was looking.
Okay, core practices in action. And actually, no, there's one other thing. Rosemary. Yay. Okay. Oh shoot. Uh-oh. Are we gonna have to duke it out? Rosemary Stifler. Oh no. Rosemary. Consolation prize. You contact me, and I will do a 30-minute on the coaching session with you.
All right,
Okay. Oh, thank you. Here. Hopefully that's an open consolation prize.
All right.
My daughter won.
And I'm going to do another one of those too. All right, a fabulous mug. Muggity mug mug. Oh, someone is wanting a mug.
A mug with her mug.
Mary Bea Boucher. Mary Bea. Woo! Okay, and
Like the coach.
a half-hour coaching call with me. I don't know if anyone's going to want that. I will help you develop anything. You can send me a classroom video beforehand, whatever you want. Make it yours. Personalize it, baby. Elizabeth? Where's Elizabeth? Elizabeth
I wish everybody asked that.
Sijiko? Where's Elizabeth?
Look, now everybody's like,
He must be present to win. Certainly, because you can't contact me for a coaching